Hello and good morning, John.
Morning, Arrow.
Man, it's so glad to be back. Oh, my God. I love your show because you're proving to the world that, hey, a bar is a great place for community, but, man, you got to clean up your act.
Yeah. If people think it's such an easy business, Arrow, and it's not. You know, it's much tougher than people think it is. But when you do it right, boy, it feels good and it can make an awful lot of money for sure.
When I go into these bars or these clubs, when the lights come on at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going, oh, my God, this is not where I want to be. To me, is that where it needs to begin, when the lights come back on?
You know, it's interesting. At the end of the night is typically a very different crowd than the beginning of the night, for sure, Arrow. But yeah, you know, when the lights come up, the place better have certain attributes. It better be clean and well taken care of and all of those things. It's amazing what you can hide when the lights come down. But also, I say this in jest, Arrow, some bars, the customers look a lot better with the lights down, too.
I love the way that you are bringing people of fame into the show because it kind of showcases their realistic kind of lifestyle and that they are real people just like the rest of us.
Yeah, you know, Danny Trejo is a good friend. And this season, we wanted to rescue a lot of bars. And we're doing 40, and I can't do 40 all on my own. It's just too much. So I reached out to a number of friends. Danny is one of them. And Danny, of course, owns restaurants. So he's in my business as well. And people will get a kick out of it because Danny comes off like such a tough guy in his movies. Yeah. What a sweetheart he is in reality. But so Danny's coming in and he's rescuing a few, as are some of my other friends. And it's still Team Taffer, if you will, because I'll be calling in to Danny, checking in, still coordinating the design and a lot of elements of what I do. But it's terrific to have them all helping me because we're rescuing many, many more bars, which is always a good thing.
As you crisscross the country, is the atmosphere of the bar different? In other words, a bar in New York versus a bar in Carolina versus something out there in Seattle?
You know, it's interesting how you define bar. You know, if you look at a neighborhood bar, they tend to be the same from coast to coast. Mm-hmm. You know, what we would call dive bars, Arrow, would be the same coast to coast. Once you start moving out of dive bars into more theme bars, sports bars, for example, can change very differently. Look at a sports bar in Dallas compared to a sports bar in New York. Yeah. Just as far as the logo, themes, and all those kinds of things. But no, I find that the demographics shift from market to market, but that isn't necessarily state to state, if you will, or region to region. What does change region to region is food, the things that people eat, and of course the things that people drink. Tequila is more popular on the West Coast, other spirits more popular on the East Coast, things like that.
Oh, man, you bring up tequila, and I'll tell you what, I was with somebody that creates mezcal. How is that changing the game?
Oh, mezcal's a great product, but you know, there's so many things happening right now. There's a flavored tequilas. Yes, I own a flavored bourbon called Taffer's Browned Butter Bourbon. So infusing flavors into these spirits today is really exciting. It gives people that wouldn't normally drink tequila or bourbon an opportunity to taste it, a desire to taste it. But the mixologists are having a blast with these products, and mezcal is certainly one of them.
You know, you were talking about themes of different bars across the country. One of the things that we're seeing a lot of here in the Carolinas, grocery stores with bars.
Yeah. Well, you know, grocery stores have very, very tight margins. And, you know, the average grocery store can run a 5% margin or so. So they're fighting for profits. Yep. Beverages are very profitable. Also, there's something interesting. Even during the recession and the pandemic, if you went to a convenience store, all those beverages in those coolers at $3, $4, they keep selling regardless of the economy and such. So beverages seem a little bit recession-proof, if you will. So a supermarket doing that makes sense because that's a profitable area of their store. So it'll contribute profits where other areas of the store might not.
Yeah. One of the things that I've always loved about the show is that you don't accept excuses. I could come up to you and say, but you're going to go, we're going to do it this way instead. Where did you gain that strength?
You know, it's interesting. Some of it comes from the show because I only have 4 days when I'm there, Arrow. So, I mean, I don't have time to mess around. In a real world, what I do in 4 days would take me 60 days. So I'm moving so quickly, I don't have time for you to figure it out. I don't have time for you to think about it. We're doing this and we're doing it now because there's a clock ticking in my head every minute. So that's pressure on me. So that certainly makes me more aggressive. I guess sometimes it makes me louder, if you will. But, you know, 4 days, and think about it now, that guy's house is on the line. I'm his last chance. Wow. He's counting on me. And I got 4 days.
Wow.
So I care about this guy. I want to come through for him. So I get really aggressive. I think I have to.
Those of us that have been involved with the nightclub scene or a bar scene always know that there's somebody on the team that has a little bit too much, and it's one of those things where they sacrifice their job to make sure they have that buzz. You take this on, and it's not a good place to be when someone on the staff is wasted.
No, it isn't. And it's funny. I always say this in jest. A pharmacist that does drugs wouldn't work out very well. So same thing in a bar. To me, alcohol is for selling. When the shift is over, certainly God bless them. They can do whatever they like. But in that business, if they drink and slip and fall, it's a dangerous place. Cut their fingers with food. I mean, food service can be a dangerous place. So you don't want to be intoxicated behind a bar or certainly in a kitchen. So you're right. I'm very tough on those things. But it comes back down to individual accountability and each of us trying to do what we need to do to be successful. Because if I can get each of us individually fighting for success, then collectively it's pretty tough to fail.
How do you feel about the way that people or the bartenders are saying, "Don't leave me a tip on the bar, Venmo me"? Is that the new age of just Venmo me what you think I deserve tonight?
I think it's an interesting approach because what you're doing is you're getting the data from all the customers that are now tipping you. So in essence, you're collecting a database of customers. So I find things like that a bit sneaky, to tell you the truth. Yeah. So if you're trying to give them money and they say, no, do it digitally, then there's a reason why they're steering you in that direction. So I would be cautious. Bars are a business with tip cash, and credit card tipping is the norm. I would be cautious before I let everybody into my telephone. And I think that's an example of that.
Dude, you got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Buddy, considering your name, I knew this was going to be a pointed discussion.
You be brilliant today, okay, Jon?
Take care, buddy. Nice to talk to you.